I'm Justin Hayek, investment advisor with PI Financial. Join me on a ride with today's top CEOs. Hear the stories of their greatest achievements and failures. Get the inside on their secrets to investing and the latest on their next big deal. This is Car Ride Confessions of a CEO. Joining me on today's ride is Nick Findler, co-founder of Edge Investments, a digital marketing company creating video content about investing in small cap stocks targeted to the millennial investor. Nick is a young and engaging entrepreneur, having cut his teeth in the finance industry, raising capital and awareness for small cap companies. Tell me about Edge Investments.
Yeah, so I started working in the business 6 or 7 years ago, started in IR, and then started raising money for a bunch of different small cap companies. And most of the people that I was raising money from were not traditional market guys. Mm-hmm. They were the guys that I and girls that I really like to spend time around, and that was a lot of entrepreneurs. There was a lot of market guys in there too, but a lot of entrepreneurs that didn't come from our space. Mm-hmm. So when they invested in a private placement or put some money into the market, there was a big education process to kind of get them up to speed. There's this really big missing gap in education because the world that we're in is not like traditional finance. And so what we're doing is we're finding the content that millennials are already looking for and creating that content. So example of that is a month or so ago, Ray Dalio came out and said, look, it's time to buy gold. And a lot of people were searching Ray Dalio gold. We created a video being like, hey, Ray Dalio is saying it's time to buy gold, like company CEO of X company, what's your opinion on this? And then from the other side was, I was, engaged by, a few different companies to help them raise money and tell their story. And they were all looking to tap into new pools of capital. And I knew of this new pool of capital, which was kind of this millennial, 25 to 40-year-old kind of like entrepreneur archetype that had made some money. How do we bridge that gap? And it wasn't scalable the way I was doing it. So, Edge was really built out of that need to connect both sides. So, a big thing what we're doing at Edge is creating a lot of just, pure value educational content.
Do you think there is a void in the finance industry of, younger people?
I think one of the biggest issues is the way that companies are telling their stories. So I think they almost need to have multiple different stories because they're talking to multiple different audiences. And where I think that there is a big opportunity for companies to reach millennials is actually not dumbing it down, but telling a different story. I think a lot of people in sort of my demographic, we're really interested in global trends. There's all these sort of bigger picture trends that are happening that I think a lot of people agree with. So, pitching your story in a way that can resonate with people that believe in that. And then second off, I think we need to do as an industry more education. Edge is just one piece of that. I think that less hard pitching and more education is going to lead to increased exposure for the space as a whole. So Edge Investments is focused on creating video content. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. So why is video content so important? Yeah. So we've really taken the time to analyze what's happening in our millennial audience. Yes, I think our content is for everybody, but we want to be really focused. So most people are viewing investment opportunities and educational content on their mobile phone, and they prefer video. So we are doing some written stuff, but people want to watch video. And it's even simple trends like knowing that, video is being watched, but a majority of the video being watched on mobile is actually being watched without sound on. So just simple things like having subtitles, really catchy subtitles and catchy headlines. And so, what we're doing is figuring out what millennials are already looking for in terms of online investing advice, and we're trying to create the content that answers those questions.
Maybe you can touch on the the best experience you've had or the greatest achievements, and touch on the greatest challenges so far that you've overcome.
There's been, financial achievements and deals that have gone well, but really where, I measure success is the depth of relationships that I've been able to sort of garner through being in the industry, and just being a really curious person, and just, I just really enjoy to connect with new people and, existing friends, and deepening those relationships. And, I think, it's something that I've kind of told to some of our new hires is look, business moves at the speed of trust. So, if you can really, have great, deep relationships with people, that's been a big marker of success for me, is just having the people that are around me and really inspiring to me to help pushing me. I think some of the biggest challenges have been, when I got into the industry, I still consider myself a kid, but I was a 22-year-old kid, trying to convince, wealthy people that I had some good ideas for them to put their money into, and I had not made any money myself, so to keep that persistence up and to be told no over and over and over again. Look, when I started in the business, I was making $2,000 a month, living downtown Vancouver, and anyone that lives down here knows that that's pretty much impossible. And I was working at a bar at night to help meet people and pay the bills, but it's those times that really develops your grit and an ability to kind of see past the small losses, and the more you can turn those hard situations into learning moments for you, the more successful you'll be. And Ray Dalio had a great way of saying it. He's pain is just a reminder there's something important to learn. So if you can really reshift your mind around thinking about pain and discomfort and challenges as just an opportunity to progress yourself, because at the end of the day, when your deals are all going well and things are going good, it's you're not learning a whole lot. You just you typically add some gas to the fire and try and get it to be as big of a flame as you possibly can.
What do you think is the most interesting sector to invest in, and why?
It's a tough question. I'm a bit biased. I think there's a humongous opportunity in mining. Because it's not seen as sexy around the world right now. And then additionally, I'm really interested in what's going to happen in the esports space, because there's been talk in our circles for a while now about it. Yep. And it hasn't really taken off yet.
That's right.
Whether or not it will or not, that's to be seen. Psychedelics is another one that I'm really interested in.
Okay.
And so we're starting to see not only psychedelics, but traditional drugs that people might see as party drugs being used for therapy, for PTSD, for anxiety.
So do you think then that, let's call it the new school version of IR, that'll attract new, younger investors?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're seeing that already. Yeah. I know because, these people are reaching out to me on our platforms being hey, your information was so valuable that we went out and, we picked up a couple $1,000s of XYZ company. And, at Edge, we're not looking to be advisors. We are not IR. We're a marketing group.
Right.
So we don't say pick this stock or that stock. We're okay, here's all the tools that you need to, make an investing decision. And here's some different opportunities, and here's the sectors that we like. But in terms of us picking different stocks, we'll leave that to the investor. We just want to empower them and educate them with all the tools so that they can make their own investment decisions.
To you, who are some of the standout people, young people in the industry today?
I've mentioned Jordan a couple times. Obviously I have a lot of experience with him, and Jordan's a younger guy that's been in the business now 10 plus years, and has really impressed me. Another guy that I chat with quite a bit is Matt Sroka. He's over at Axion Gaming, and we meet up every couple Fridays to kind of chat, and really like what he's doing, what they're doing over there. And there's a couple young brokers like yourself, Brady Rack's another guy that's at your shop that I've gotten to know pretty well, and there is a group of younger people that are, filling this void, but there is a huge generational gap.
So what do you think public companies should be doing to connect with the new younger investor?
So, I think there's, a lot of groups out there that can, help you tell your story to a younger demographic, and we're definitely one of them, but we're just one of them. There's a lot of things from like, a company standpoint that you can do also. And I think like just having, a presence on social media is so important, like, and put some resources into it. Like if you need to hire, a university student for a couple $1,000 a month to, help you get, a few thousand followers on Instagram or Facebook, and like actually like creating a dialogue with them, because just having a profile with some followers isn't enough.
So with that being said, anything that you want to maybe mention or discuss that I haven't asked you?
Yeah, I mean, I would encourage pubcos and the people running them to really take a hard look at this millennial market. There's a ton of money there, and as we're seeing sort of the generational transfer from the baby boomers down, there's a ton of wealth being transferred. And just, the people that I'm hanging out with that are kind of in that 25 to 40-year-old range, there's a lot of people that have disposable income, and they want to invest in things that have the opportunity to 2, 3, 4, 5x.
Nick, appreciate your time, buddy. I really enjoyed that conversation.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Yeah, looking forward to what you guys do with Edge Investments.
Thanks.
Thanks, buddy.
Take care.